So as you guys can see, I'm doing some work on the Ranger today. The original door speakers in the truck right now are not exactly in the best shape. The right side crackles a little bit, and new 4x6s were relatively cheap for Amazon. I also got these, since I've done speakers all the way around on that car and several other cars that I've owned. I didn't know you can get these, but it would make sense. Quick connects. It already connects to the car's wiring, so you don't have to do any crimping or anything using these bloody things. So that makes my job a lot easier, and as you can see, I've already got this speaker prepared. Now, the ones I'm going to start on first are these back speakers because, well, they look like they're the easiest to get to. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that, and then we'll see where we're at. As you can see, I've already removed, the outer faceplate. There's 4 screws, very simple to remove, really easy to do. Now, I will say that if I wanted to put this guy on, I would have to remove these 4 outer ones for the mounting plate for the speaker. Now, it can be done, but it's not that easy just because of the way where all the plastic trim goes around, and you know, it's not exactly in my best interest to get something in there. I don't have the proper universal socket joint for that. But on the flip side, I can go ahead and replace the speaker. It's easy enough. Simple 7/32 socket. Let's get started. Some of you guys might be scoffing at the fact that I use the cheater connectors, or I'm going to, but as you can see, there really isn't very much to cut through here and to splice in new wires. Now, say what you want, but personally, I'd rather get it done right and make sure it's done right the first time than have to go through and correct something, because in this instance, not being as much wire as there is, it's a good thing that I spent the extra $14 or $10 for both pairs of connectors. So I did right by myself this time. This is the old speaker. They call it a premium speaker. And what's funny about these is these are made by Pyle, but I'm hoping they're not piles of shit. No pun intended. Anyways, the reviews on these are pretty good. They're pretty decent speakers for the price, but on older cars like this, I've never been known among any of my friends to spend an arm and a leg on an audio system, but not knocking you if you do. It's disconnected. Now all I got to do is plug in the new one, and there you have it. So now I just got to reconnect everything, get all the wiring situated, and connect my speaker. There's the new speaker installed. Got all the screws and attaching hardware in. And as I was saying, there's not really any point to use this, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss it in the catch-all. Same thing with the old speaker. So now, all I really have left to do is install the old trim piece here, and then I can get on with the front. See on this side, the wiring is a little bit longer. However, I am still glad I bought these, of course, because even if one side's shorter, these really do make your life a whole hell of a lot easier when you try and install these things. It makes for a cleaner appearance, cleaner everything. You really run less of a risk of, you know, damaging any of the wires or any interference or anything, so there's that. But I will say this, if you're planning on doing this to your Ranger, the general process is the same. However, make sure you get the right connector for your right ear. You might have to do a little bit of research, but I found everything through Amazon, and these are the type of speakers that I'm putting in. I'm not sure on this. Again, you'll have to do some research and see what speakers fit yours, but I believe the 6x8s that I have here, I believe these 6x8s are standard for all Rangers. However, again, I'm not sure about that. On to the front doors. There's 2 screws on my particular application. one down here, and then one up here. Now, obviously, if yours does not have power locks and windows like mine does, you're going to have to deal with the crank for the window. Speakers right here. And it's essentially going to be the same installation process. However, when I remove my door panel here, I'm going to have to take care to not damage any of this stuff. The best way to do this, but it does work. So as I was saying, it's pretty much the same deal. Just got to remove the 4 screws and uncouple the old speaker, then put the new one in. It's the same exact setup that we have here. I've already got the speaker prepped and everything, and it's really just a plug and play job. So we'll be back when it's all set up and everything. I'm going to say, as you can see with these screws for the old speakers, if my camera here will zoom in on it, you can see they're combined a washer with the screw. It's all one piece, so you can't really do that. Now, it did include new hardware. These are a little bit longer than I'd like to use, but I'll show you the dilemma here, and I did this for an example. You'll have to use your best judgment in this case, because with the washers here that are on these screws, it does not allow the speaker to seat and fit properly and line up with all the holes when it's screwed down, because there's a lip on the outer rim of the speakers here. So in this case, you'll have to use the speakers that were included. Everything's installed on this side. Still have the other side to do, of course. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the panel back around, put everything back together, and then I'll demo the system. So now all 4 speakers are in. Just finished with this side. Everything works okay, but I'll show you guys. The YouTube police are probably going to get mad at me for this, but anyways, you go to your audio settings on whatever stereo deck you have. You can test the left side, right side. They both work, by the way. I've already done this, but I'm just showing you. Both the front speakers, both work, and the back speakers, both work. So there you have it. Everything seems to work pretty good. I really don't want to replace the stereo on this truck. It still works fine. The tape deck part even still works, so I don't really see a point in replacing something that's not broken. And I also have a cassette tape thing for this, just in case I want to plug my phone or an MP3 player or something into it and listen to it that way. But anyway, so there you have it, guys. That's how to install 4 speakers in a '94 Ford Ranger. Guys, take it easy.